When a pilot says the plane is moving at 500 knots, it sounds modern, digital, precise, like something powered by satellites and supercomputers. But it isn't. And when a cargo ship crosses the ocean carrying billions of dollars in goods, it uses the same word, knots. A measurement that sounds harmless, almost outdated, like it shouldn't even exist in modern technology. But here's where it gets strange. That modern number is actually tied to a system built over 400 years ago, using a piece of wood tied to a rope thrown into the ocean. And somehow, that same system still quietly controls global shipping costs, flight routes, and how fast the entire world moves. Not because we upgraded it, but because we never fully replaced it. Because on Simple Histories Explained, the ordinary is never just ordinary. And this story starts on the edge of a wooden ship, in complete darkness, with a sailor holding a rope, counting something disappearing into the ocean. He wasn't measuring speed, not the way we think about it today. Out there in the 1600s, in the middle of open ocean, speed wasn't just a number, it was survival. No engines, no GPS, no radar, just wooden ships, and the ocean that could swallow them whole. Back then, knowing your speed wasn't optional. It was survival. Because if you misjudged how fast you were moving, even slightly, you could miss an island, crash into unseen reefs, or drift for weeks without food. So sailors built something that looks almost too simple to work. They called it the chip log, a wooden piece of board shaped like a slice of pie, weighted so it floated upright in the water. Attached to it, a long rope. But this wasn't ordinary rope. At equal intervals, sailors tied knots, not randomly, carefully measured, deliberately spaced. Then came the ritual. One sailor throws the wood into the sea. It drags behind the ship as the vessel moves forward. Another flips a sandglass, exactly 28 seconds. And a third sailor does something almost absurd. He counts knots as they pass through his hands. 1, 2, 3. When the sand runs out, they stop. Whatever number they counted, that was the ship's speed. So when we say knots today, we are literally speaking a language born from sailors counting knots on a rope disappearing into the ocean. And here's where the first question opens. Why those exact distances between knots? Why not 10 feet, or 100, or anything simple? That answer doesn't belong to the sea. It belongs to the shape of the earth itself. Sailors weren't just measuring speed. They were syncing themselves to the planet. The earth is a sphere, a circle, and a circle is divided into 360 degrees. Sailors discovered something powerful. 1 degree of latitude could be broken into smaller units, called minutes of arc. And here's the breakthrough. 1 nautical mile equals 1 minute of latitude on Earth, meaning the map and the measurement are the same thing. No calculators, no conversions, just direct geometry of the planet. So if a ship travels 1 degree north, that's 60 nautical miles. Simple, elegant, almost too perfect. But now the knot makes sense. Engineers worked backwards from this system. They adjusted rope spacing and timing so that counting knots in 28 seconds would match nautical miles per hour. So a knot is not random. It is Earth geometry, converted into rope, then into human counting. But here's where the story splits. Because this makes sense for ships. But airplanes? They don't sail, they fly. So why are they still using it? And this is where economics quietly enters the story. Because changing a measurement system is not just science, it's money. When aviation began, there was no aviation language. Pilots didn't have their own maps. They borrowed naval charts, because oceans were the hardest environment humans had mastered. Early pilots like Charles Lindbergh crossed oceans using the same tools as sailors: stars, horizons, latitude lines. So naturally, they inherited naval speed. But there's something deeper. Switching measurement systems across global transport isn't just inconvenient. It's economically dangerous. Every flight route, every shipping contract, every navigation system, every training manual, all of it would need rewriting. And in global trade, consistency is worth more than perfection. So knots stayed. Not because they are the best unit, but because changing them would cost more than keeping them. And this is where something unsettling appears. Because the world didn't keep knots for tradition. It kept them for profit stability. Now here's what most people never realize. In shipping, speed is money. A large cargo ship can burn tens of thousands of dollars in fuel per day. And here's the twist. Going just a few knots faster can increase fuel consumption dramatically. So companies don't just track speed for navigation, they track it for profit. Even a 1-knot difference across an ocean voyage can mean thousands of dollars gained or lost. That means the same system invented to estimate speed in the 1600s is now directly tied to modern global economics. Every knot isn't just movement, it's cost, it's time, it's trade. So why are we still using knots? Not because they are outdated, not because we are stuck in the past, but because they are the only system that connects 3 worlds at once: navigation geometry of the Earth and global economics. It works on ships, it works on planes, and most importantly, it works across a system where changing it would cost billions. So that old rope system never really disappeared. It just got promoted. On from a sailor's tool to the invisible language of global movement. So the next time you hear a pilot say 500 knots or a ship captain report speed at sea, you're not hearing a modern measurement. You're hearing history that refused to die. A rope, a log of wood, a counting system invented in darkness on the ocean, still moving billions of dollars across the world every single day. And maybe the strange part isn't that it still exists. Maybe it's that we built the entire modern world on top of it without ever questioning it. Because some systems don't disappear when they become old. They disappear when nothing better can replace them without breaking everything else. And that raises a question that hits even deeper. What other normal things in our world are still running on centuries-old systems we never stop to question? If this made you rethink something as simple as speed, please hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to Simple Histories Explained for more stories. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.